Okay, so welcome to the first proper episode of Fit Beyond 40, the dedicated podcast for us guys over 40 talking about health, fitness, mental health, and all the challenges that come with getting older. So, by the way, if you see me looking around, I'm not cross-eyed, well, I don't think I am. It's because I've got pointers and notes everywhere. And as you know, some of you might know, as you get older, your memory ain't the best, and mine is not the best. So I'm having to put stuff all up. So if you see my head waving around, etc., that's what it is. The first topic today, I'm hoping this will be the last time, by the way, where you just see me on my own. But I felt like this topic deserved a bit more of an intensive kind of self episode, if you like, rather than when it can get quite jovial and stuff when I've got guests on. So we touched on it earlier in my intro, and what I want to talk about today is your mind and your mindset. We talked about how many guys out there right now are struggling. I know loads. They're feeling isolated and they're going through difficult times. I just want to say, look, you're not alone. There are others who are going through something similar. You know, you can take kind of comfort in that. You're not the only person, okay? And that's one of the reasons this was set up, as I mentioned in the intro, was because there are others out there who are feeling and going through what you are feeling at the moment. We're here for you in whatever capacity we can help, to help you get motivated, inspired, or even kind of steal tips from some of the guests or myself, little tricks and stuff that we use to get out of kind of our holes, if you like, or when we were really down, the kind of things we used. So yeah, hopefully you can gain just a little bit of knowledge that might help you, and that's what it's about at the end of the day, is helping you guys get through this. So as I said, on this first episode, we'll be kind of focusing just on your mind and your mindset. We're not really going to talk about nutrition and workouts and stuff. That will come later. The role of a man has kind of changed in society. I think we can all see that. We have a lot more time and hands-on with our kids and the family as those other generations before us. It was when I went to school, it's predominantly mums doing the school drops. Very rarely see dads. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, why wouldn't you want to have time with your kids and influence them and guide them? And create those memories that you can, because there will be a time that they don't want to hang about with you anymore. It's not cool to be a dad. And also they hold you in such high regard as a dad. You know, all your kids will think that you're Superman, and I talked about that before, and you should play up to it, and you are to them, and rightly so. But obviously with the way the role is now, the more hands-on, the more family time, etc., there are things that you're going to have to sacrifice, and generally, not everyone, but they seem to be kind of gym time. If you're playing sport, football, rugby, you might not be able to play every week. Other socials, you might have to miss out on socials because of childcare or being around your kids, especially in the early years when they're not at school or anything. You're probably going to want, your partner might want you around more often to help out. So it's really hard to find that balance. That balance between kind of having a bit of you time and a bit of family time, because most of us still got to work as well. So, the finances are important when a kid comes along. You're going to need that extra money for nappies, food, whatever it is, so you can't just kind of stop working. And it's just trying to fit everything in and find that balance. And it can take a while, depending on your relationship as well. That might take a strain, and that might become more stressful to you as well, adding on different stresses, your finances, etc. Everything else kind of builds on top. And you also got to consider the physiological changes that we go through that many of us kind of ignore, or, like myself, put it down to just having kids. That's why I was tired all the time. But there is a decline in our hormones. The fashionable word at the moment is the male menopause. They've labelled it as, but there is a decline in our hormones, and that is going to affect your mood, your motivation, your irritability. It is going to have an effect on all that, your sexual drive, everything. That's all going to be affected by your hormones. And then we have sarcopenia as well, which is the decline of your muscles and your muscle mass as we get older. So they can all kind of combine to demotivate you and kind of bring you down into what is already probably a stressful situation. It kind of brings you down even more. And as I mentioned in my previous episode, we've come a long way for people and men specifically to have a safe space to be able to talk. But it's still not perfect, and it's still taboo in some areas, some industries. It's still not seen as, a positive thing for a man to kind of relinquish his problems and talk about it. So it's really important that you guys keep an eye on each other, on the men in your life, your brothers, your uncles, your dads, your granddads, because you know them better than anyone else. And you will see the changes in their mood, if any. So, if you've got a mate who's really boisterous and now suddenly he's gone really quiet, you might have to kind of, I know we're all busy. I know we've all got busy lives and it's hard to make time, but just drag him out for a bite to eat or something and just see if he'll open up. He might not open up, but that one interaction you have of when you drag him out might have a really positive knock-on effect on him. It might really help him. It might be that turning point. Like we won't know that how our mates are suffering, how our uncles are suffering, our brothers, granddads, whatever. But just by being a bit proactive, we can have a real positive influence on them. And it's, what is it, an hour out your day, depending on where they live and how close they are to you and their situation. But think about that. It can really change their lives in a positive way. And that's what we want, don't we? We want our family and our friends to keep well. We want them to be healthy. We want to have memories with them. We don't want them to feel isolated and down. So you've got to look out for each other, and you've got to help each other. That's the only thing I can say. Just help each other. If you care about each other, your family, your friends, just help each other. Just, give them a nudge every now and again, see if they're all right, drop them a message or go and see them. Just whatever it may be, a pint, doesn't matter. Because the mind can be so, so powerful. And we all know that. I'm sure in a positive way, you can probably all remember a time when you're younger and you felt invincible like Superman. That's the high it can get you on. And at that point, you feel like you can do anything or be anything. But when your mind goes against you and you're down, it's very hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, depending on your situation. It's very hard to see a step forward or way forward or how you're going to get out of this. It can just pummel on top of you more and more. It does not help you at all. So it's really important that we get our mind right. It's really important because with that mindset, with that positive mindset, you can achieve anything. Whatever you want in life. It doesn't have to be health or fitness goals. It can be anything. It's that mindset. And you set yourself up for success, like I said before. That's what it's about. It's about improving your quality of life. Better, a boyfriend, husband, dad, whatever, uncle. You just have more time. You're more confident. You feel better in yourself. And you're enjoying life more. Now, in preparation for this episode, I did some research and looked at the Samaritan's website, and some of the statistics were pretty shocking and stark, to be honest. I definitely didn't realise the extent of suicides in this country alone. So we're talking nearly 10 to 12 men a day. So from the time you wake up on a Monday morning to the time you've woken up again on Tuesday morning, we could have lost approximately 10 men to suicides. And that is, one, it's far too many, and it's really shocking. It brings it home. 3 out of all 4 suicides, 3 out of 4, so 75% of them are generally men. And that is shocking as well. The biggest age group within that is the 54 to 59. So most of you listening here will be over 40. So that doesn't seem like a whole distance away. And a lot of them feel isolated. And if you want to go on the Samaritan's website yourself, you can have a look at some of the advice and some of the facts and statistics they've got on there. They did a little research, I think it was called Out of Sight, Out of Mind, where they were trying to help middle-aged men who weren't well off, and they were trying to speak to them to get to the bottom, because these you just get missed by society, and they found that through the research that they kind of at critical times they were just missed, and that's a lot of people to lose, a lot of men to lose. You think even 10 in 24 hours, that's a big number, and you also have to wonder, what was it? Could someone having a chat with them, or them letting in on with their friends, opening up a bit more with their friends and family, could we have saved them? Might they have thought twice? You never know what's going on inside someone's head. It's such a difficult subject to talk about. But did we do everything? Did the people around them do everything? Did they feel like it was that bad? They obviously did, because they tragically ended their own life, and it's just a waste. It's just a waste of someone's boyfriend, someone's son, someone's brother, someone's dad could be. I just feel like it's just a waste. And if we can help those guys have a safe space to talk on here or talk anywhere, it doesn't have to be here. It could be anywhere. Just pick up their phone to their mates, or whether their friends can be a little bit proactive and talk to them and just give them a shout or drag them out for a bite to eat, whatever it may be. That's what we want. We want to help people who feel isolated and alone. And it seems to be more than ever this group of middle-aged men. So, as I said, if you've got family members, friends, try and be a bit proactive. Just have a look out for them if you can. There was another website called Champion Health. I think they deal with employees and stuff. And they found through their research that the likelihood of self-harm was double. So you're twice as likely to self-harm or attempt suicide if you're going through financial stress. Who isn't going through financial stress right now? Who isn't struggling one way or another? It is really relevant to the time we live in now. So, keep an eye on each other. If someone's self-harming or done something to cry for attention, just take it seriously, because generally the next step might not be a cry for attention. And if we can intervene at that time and make a difference, that's what we want. We want that person to be healthy. We want that person to be around. And so it kind of brings me to, what can we do? What can we do to change our mindset, to build resilience, to make us feel more positive? Well, we all know that exercise and sometimes a positive mind go hand in hand. They're intertwined. So, exercise. And it's difficult because not everyone likes a gym, like I talked about previously. Not everyone wants to go to a gym. They find them intimidating. They find them boring. We take for granted that everyone wants to go there. So it doesn't have to be the gym, but just getting active, just releasing some positive hormones, some dopamine, whatever it may be, make you feel good. And if you haven't been active for a while, you don't have to just get out and start running, and which could lead on to injuries, which leads on to more negative feelings through failure. Ease yourself into it. But get out there, do something. If it's going for a walk with your mates or finding a local walking group. A lot of geezers have that now locally. You can usually use your phone, Google, and find a local men's walking group, or golf, tennis, whatever it may be, football, rugby. Even if you're just going down to watch initially and just getting involved, maybe with the training or something. It just helps you so much being involved in something. So that's one of the things that we can do to make our mind feel a little bit more positive. There are other things you can do. I'm an advocate, massive advocate for doing stuff that's free, that doesn't cost a lot, and stuff that we can do straight away, where we haven't got to invest lots of money. So stuff like music is really powerful. It's easy to sit down in front of Netflix and lose hours. Music has such a powerful vibe to it. You can put on a song that'll take you back to 95 or 96, and it'll invoke memories, some good ones hopefully. So if you're that way inclined, use music. Remember, we're all built differently and we're all personal to each other. So what works for one person might not work for you. But listen, when we're down in the dumps and we're down rock bottom, you'll try anything, and it's worth a try. A lot of these things, as I said, are free, and they're available at the end of your hand or end of your palm on a phone or a TV. So give them a go. You're not losing anything, but they might just help you just feel a bit more positive that day, and ongoing as well, which is what we want. So we've got music, we've got meditation as well. I know people, especially geezers, think like, well, I ain't doing that. To be honest with you, I did try it. I found it quite difficult to get into. My brain is like a hamster wheel; it's just constantly going. I find it quite hard to switch off and really get into it. But there's loads of different types of meditation now on YouTube or social media, wherever you find it. And if something works for you, then keep doing it. Don't worry about what other people are going to say. It's about you. It's about your health. There's a lot of people who might not want you to be well. There's a lot of jealousy and hatred out there, and that's the kind of stuff you don't need around you, especially at a time where you're feeling very vulnerable and insecure. So we don't need that. We want to surround ourselves with positivity. You're a product of that. When people say, "Oh, are you dieting or whatever?" And making healthy choices. Healthy choices include your circle of who's around you, what you watch, what you listen to, what you do. Healthy choices aren't just about nutrition. It's the whole picture. So trying to make positive changes in all of them are going to help you. So yeah, as I said, meditation didn't work for me, but that doesn't mean you rule it out. Give it a go. As I said, it's free. Socialising. There's so much to be said for socialising and getting involved, even if it's going out for a beer with someone. I'm not advocating turning to alcohol to get rid of your problems. But what I'm saying is just socialising with your friends or your family, just getting out talking, irrelevant of what's going on in your head. We're social beings and we get so much gratification from socialising with people. So if you have a chance, use it. Don't isolate yourself. Don't sit at home. Just try and force yourself out. You will hopefully have a good time and invoke positive thoughts, positive memories, positive hormones. That's what we want. Giving to charity as well. That's why it makes us feel so good, because we feel like we're doing something for someone else. It's really hard when you're down, when your mind's against you, to think of things to be grateful for. But there still will be things that you can be grateful for, and you can kind of try and turn that thinking on its head. Whether that be like a grateful list in the morning when you get up, whatever works for you. But yeah, volunteering your time as well as giving charity. If you find just to drag yourself out the house, volunteering with local, whatever you're into. So it could be local sports clubs. If you've got some local kids clubs around and they need help, just getting out there. Maybe helping the homeless, just doing something for kind of like blanking your memories out for a bit, putting that to a side and trying to help other people. Ice baths can be really positive. I'm currently doing them at the moment. I'm trying to do a 100-day challenge. Again, they're not for everyone, and all those things aren't for everyone, but you can try them. They're free. You can start with cold showers. You could do that tomorrow morning if you wanted. You can fill your bath up with cold water. These are things that you can do straight away. So there's less obstacles that your mind's going to put in place. You don't have to go out and go and buy loads of ice. You can do it in a cold bath. You can do it in a cold shower. So there's less obstacles there for you to make excuses of why not to do them. But there are two different types of ice baths, by the way. There are recovery ice baths that a lot of people use post-sport or exercise. I've used them before. And that is all about kind of reducing inflammation, reducing the micro trauma, and basically speeding up the recovery, which is what you want to do. So a lot of football players, rugby players, boxers, lots of sportsmen use them. Increases their recovery so they can go again the next day or the day after that, and that's what they want. The morning baths, however, are more of a mental thing, trying to build resilience. I do mine pretty much within 10 minutes of waking up. I find if I give myself too much time to think, your mind starts to put obstacles in your way, but you just got to do it. Whatever works for you. It doesn't have to be ice baths, but it's an option. But there are things out there that we can do, as I've mentioned, to build that resilience in your mind, to build that positivity. So take some of them ideas on board. There are going to be guests coming on here after this. As I said, hopefully this is the last time you're going to hear my voice on my own. So there are guests on here, so you can kind of nick ideas off them and see what they've done. You might be more receptive to them or to different guests, depending on what your life has been. You might relate to one more than the other. But take on those tips. Have a go. Try and get yourself out the rut. If it means calling someone up you haven't spoken to for a while, do that. Get yourself out, coffee, beer, bite to eat, whatever it is. Try and make them positive steps. We can do them straight away. And you never know what could happen. Hopefully the domino effect will kick in, and then every day becomes a better day. Yep. So thank you very much for joining me. I kept it short, sharp and sweet, hopefully. Didn't take up too much of your time, as I'm trying to keep these episodes down to about half an hour, because I know we're busy. A lot of us who are dads as well, we don't have a lot of time to sit there and listen to things. Hopefully half an hour you can listen to in the car, or if you want to start walking or doing exercise, you can listen in the gym. And that's what it's about. And if you know anyone out there who's struggling, as I said, brothers, uncles, granddads, whatever, who you feel might benefit from this, listening to this, or even getting in touch with us so we can maybe help in a certain way, do that. Get them in touch, or pass them on to this, to the links, etc., to Spotify and YouTube, and let's get them feeling better amongst themselves, and so they can enjoy life more and improve their quality of life. Thank you very much. Join me next time. Thank you.